Twin Cities labor unions had Wisconsin in mind this afternoon when they held a solidarity rally at the Minnesota Capitol. And as Carol Emmons John Croman reports tonight, they already see signs of a, quote, backlash against labor spreading here.
It is a human right. It is a right of all Americans, and we will not let that right die, will we?
They're not the first Minnesotans to stand up for fellow workers across the Wisconsin border, but Governor Dayton's appearance at this solidarity rally made it clear the conflict runs deeper than the Badger State's budget woes.
Standing together, we will not let Minnesota become Wisconsin.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Scott Walker has got to go! Hey!
Most of those we met in the midst of Madison's madness expected to pay more for health care and pensions, but were caught surprised by the effort to end collective bargaining. Wisconsin was the first state to grant that power to government workers, and now it's allowed in some form in 37 states. But doing away with it is key to Governor Scott Walker's budget repair bill.
If you have collective bargaining agreements in place, there's no guarantee that any of those savings will be materialized.
We're also seeing a union backlash here in Minnesota with similar language used to justify it. For example, the senator who is sponsoring the bill to freeze teacher pay and bar teachers from striking likes to use this word, tools, as in giving local school boards the tools they need to balance their budgets. Turns out he's not the only Republican who likes this word.
We're going to make sure that we're set up come July 1st, when the next biennial budget begins, that we have the tools not only to balance the state budget, but to ensure that all of our local governments have the tools they need to balance their budgets with these very modest proposals.
Even before Madison heated up, Minnesota unions were already upset about a bill to make Minnesota a right-to-work state, meaning you don't have to join the union even if your company is unionized. Only 21 states are right-to-work now, mostly in the South and Mountain states, never union strongholds.
We're not going to let Scott Walker and a bunch of cheap labor conservatives take that right away from us!
No word yet when those 14 missing Senate Democrats in Wisconsin will return to work, but today the rules changed a little bit. They can no longer get their paychecks by direct deposit. They have to come to the Capitol in Wisconsin in person and get their checks from the Senate Majority Leader. Just another little thing there to try to compel them to come back to work. And this whole idea of a work stoppage or walkout over labor bills spread to Indiana today when members of the Indiana House of Representatives decided to go AWOL because they didn't want to be there to vote on a bill that would make Indiana a right-to-work state. Back to you.
A lot of developments. Thank you, John.